I used my LinkedIn account to ask a lot of insurers how they would prefer to develop future IT solutions. And to my surprise, a lot of insurers actually chose we would like to build it ourselves, or we would like to build it from scratch using external vendors. Not that many chose we would like to modify out-of-the-box solutions, or we would go with no-code platforms. And why is this? Let's try to understand this. Welcome back. I'm Frederick. I think the major issue here is that the technology companies, they don't have proper or adequate understanding of how the insurance company is actually working. They lack this deep understanding of how the value chain is constructed, but even more important, how the processes, the internal operations in the insurance company is working. And because the tech companies don't have that deep knowledge, it's very easy to go wrong or to present to the wrong people or present the wrong solution to the insurance companies. It's so important for the tech companies to understand what they're up against when they're talking to the insurance companies. And there are many challenges. First of all, the insurance companies, they do have limited resources. And taking on a new tech project will require a lot of resources, regardless of what the tech company promises. There are so many internal processes, so many internal things that have to match and be changed in order to adapt this technology. This is one of the first things that the tech company must understand. Insurers have limited resources available, and resources are required to implement a tech solution. Secondly, the insurance company, the management may have inadequate knowledge about what's happening, inadequate knowledge about the solution and the actual benefits that these solutions will bring. I made another video about this, and it's for sure nothing to do with that the management are not capable of running the business or stupid. It is to do with that the management simply have so many priorities that understanding the latest tech developments may not be one of the highest. And that means when they are presented with new tech, they may not have the knowledge required to understand it and understand the implications or the benefits of using it. Another extremely important roadblock that tech companies, they will encounter when they talk to insurance companies is the internal organizational structure of the insurer. Typically, the insurance company is split into silos. So each line of business or business unit has its own set of rules, own set of processes, own set of profit and loss balance that they have to adhere to. That also means that when you come with a tech solution that in most cases spans across many business units, you will interfere in these business units and in their daily operations. And bear in mind here that you're looking at and working with people who've been very, very successful in their line of business for many years, and they've done it well, and they've served the company, and they've been a vital part of the company's success. And all of a sudden, this tech company comes and wants to interfere in the way that they do business. You will face a lot of resistance. You have to be aware of this. And then even if you are capable of seeing and moving past all these obstacles, you will encounter the last obstacle, which is that the solution is not fully understood by all involved teams, or maybe all the teams that should have been involved have not been involved, which means that the solution will never really take off because key people are actually missing in the implementation. These are some of the most important factors that tech companies they need to be aware of when they start working with insurance companies. And of course, in order to be successful in selling their products to the insurance companies, they would need to know how to overcome these obstacles and make it a success anyway. And I think we should spend some time discussing how do you actually do this, because this is also a part of understanding how do you make digital transformation a success in a company. Step number one is for the tech company or for the project management organization to do a proper stakeholder mapping. Understand the stakeholders internally in the insurance company, but also external partners and vendors. Who are all the stakeholders in this process? Where can we see that we possibly may touch inside the insurance company or even outside? And who are the key people that we need to enroll into this? Make a huge stakeholder map, understand their positions, make sure that you talk to them, you understand their pain points, and they feel that they are involved in the process that's going to happen. Based on this, and this is next step in getting a tech solution to work with an insurance company, that is to create a proper project plan. And I know this sounds fairly simple. It is until the second you break it down to super small bits and you actually start to identify the dependencies on other departments in the insurance company, on vendors, on other software suppliers, on units in the insurance company you haven't even thought of. When you start breaking down your project plan to those bits, you will see that your stakeholder mapping was probably not even complete at the point when you made it. This project plan will also give you a very detailed overview of the number of resources that you need. And in most cases, you'll find that the insurance company simply does not have those resources available. So you, as a provider, needs to have a kind of a hidden source of resources that you can actually put into the project to help the insurance company make this a success. Remember, if you are not, as a tech company, making sure that this is a success, then it's never going to be. Don't rely on the insurance company to do it. You have to take charge and run with the project, with the insurance company, but to a much greater extent than you probably normally would think you would need to. You will also encounter this resistance to change. And there are many reasons for this. First of all, you will risk that the people you're working with don't fully understand what you're proposing. You will also be up against incentive structures, organizational processes, how they are used to doing things and how they're being rewarded for doing things. If a tech solution is all of a sudden stirring that up and changing it, then people who are used to being rewarded by working like this may not be interested in working like this because there's no incentive structure in place for this. And of course, this is nothing a tech vendor can do anything about directly. But again, if you're aware of it, you may be able to speak with the management of the insurance company who pay for you and who is interested in making this a success to change these things or work with you towards talking to the people implied and make them understand that all of a sudden a successful implementation of this project is part of their success criteria. This is extremely important. Make sure that the project that you're implementing is made part of the key stakeholders, key performance indicators, key success factors. If you manage to do that, you will have a completely different focus on the implementation of the project. To me, it is so important that the tech suppliers, that the new and modern ways of doing things in insurance, these companies understand the internal structures of the insurance companies and understand no matter how smart a solution they are providing, then they will be up against organizational structures, silos, incentive programs, not invented here syndromes. If the companies are starting to realize this, then you also get an idea of where you should start. And with my knowledge of the tech markets in the insurance industry, I think this is where the tech companies, they actually have a gap, because not too many tech companies, they actually have the competences or the resources made available to, on a daily basis, act as consultants on their behalf with the insurance companies to make sure that these projects are working. I understand that, of course, there are project management available, but there are no seconded people who are sitting with the insurance company on a daily basis, acting like an extended arm, making sure that this is going to be a success with the insurer. I still feel that when you're working together, we need this shared target of making things a success. And it cannot come from the insurer. The insurer, we are busy enough as it is. It can only come from the vendors who wish to sell products to the insurance company. I believe if the tech companies, the no-code, the low-code, all the smart and fantastic solutions, and I mean it, they are smart and fantastic, but if they are to have a success or more success in the future, this is a step that you need to understand you have to take. You need to take the next step in being an assistant to making this work within the insurer. Understand the insurance processes, understand all the grievances, all the concerns, understand the roadblocks, the silos, everything within the insurer. Have the competences with you capable of working with the insurer to solve these problems. Then I think we will start to see a much accelerated development of the insurance industry. And that's what I think we need as an insurance industry. So I hope you take my advice in good spirit. And as always, I'm looking very much forward to hearing your comments. Thank you very much for listening and watching. Take care and see you again. Goodbye.